Oh, beloved, I hope you stayed tuned with us and so on in the comfort of your home and so forth. That's beautiful. That was the advertising part. It's like watching hockey and having a long wait because there is the advertising stuff. I kind of like that. Stay with us as we carry on for another 25, 30 minutes and so on. There was at least 2 missing. I gave you the names of these people. Nicodemus is not present with this, did not plot against Jesus, nor Joseph Arimathea. I will give you more detail about these guys when we get there. I would like you to look at Matthew, verse 59. Matthew, verse 59, at the bottom of page 209. Now the chief priests and the whole council sought false witness, circle false witness against Jesus, that they might put him to death. Okay, this is in violation of the law number 7. This is in violation of the law number 7. Mark, verse 55. Turn the page for a moment. Now the chief priests, on the left-hand side, page 209. Now the chief priests and the whole council, whatever they have, the whole council here, it's in violation of law number 8.
Doesn't it say that all of them were there?
Perhaps at least they have 69. So now here they have a hard time to find witnesses that would agree in all points, because keep in mind another point of justice here, it's that the witnesses, the false or good witnesses, they have to agree in all points of details. And again, it will show that they were asked to forced to act on that night. Let's look at the issue of destroying the temple. Mark 57. And there stood up certain and bare false witness against him, saying, we heard him say, I will destroy this temple. Circle, I will destroy this temple. Go to Matthew, verse 61. But afterward came to, circle came to, and said, this man said, I am able to destroy the temple. What did he say exactly? Because one statement is a statement of ability, capability of doing it. I am able to destroy the temple. And the other statement is a statement of intent. I will destroy the temple. So it does not fit, it does not agree. What did he say exactly? They don't agree among themselves. And in Mark verse 59 here, and not even so did their witness agree together, circle that, not even so their witness agreed together, he should have been released right there. Because in Mark verse 59, this is in violation of law number 9. So the charge of disrespecting the temple did not work out there. And that's why, remember, that's what they look for. They look for something religious. The charge of disrespecting the temple did not work out at that place. But now I need to explain to you another statement here. Why have they aimed at that specific temple issue? Because it was the only point for the Sanhedrin, while they were under Roman law, that would allow them to put someone to death. That was the only point. Somebody that was threatening to destroy their temple. That was the only point allowed by the Rome, because they're not allowed to put anyone to death right now.
The Jews.
The Jews, correct, the Jews. The Roman, they're allowed at will. Now, Caiaphas get frustrated. Matthew verse 62. And the high priest stood up and said unto him, answer you nothing? Don't you answer nothing? What is it which these witness against you? He gets a bit frustrated here, asking Jesus to speak something. It violates law 10. It violates law number 10. Look at Matthew verse 63, the other part here. You circle now, but Jesus held his peace. 63b, Jesus held his peace. He stuck to his rights. He did not answer anything. Matthew verse 63, again, later on. And the high priest said unto him, you circle now, I adjure you, by the living God, that you tell us whether you be the Christ, the Son of God. Circle the Christ, the Son of God. Circle the Christ, the Son of God, on page 211 at the top. Page 211 at the top. Now he is under oath. Jesus is under oath. I adjure you. That's Caiaphas talking to Jesus. And when put under oath in the court of law, he has to answer. Make a note, it's important here. It is obvious that Caiaphas understood two things. Caiaphas understood who Jesus claimed to be. Who Jesus claimed to be. What is he claiming to be? You answer me, please. To be the Messiah. And the second thing that Caiaphas understands, it's who the Messiah is supposed to be. You give me the answer. The Son of God. And now being under oath, you must respond. And we go to Mark 62, top of page 211. And Jesus said, I am. Circle I am, and you shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven. It means, yes, I am. I am the Son of God, not I to force people to the ground. I am the one. And Jesus chose to go a little bit further. He's not happy with only a yes, but he goes further in two ways. Matthew verse 64. Matthew verse 64. You have said, nevertheless, I say unto you, henceforth, you shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand, circle sitting at the right hand, and coming on the clouds of heaven. Point number one, that he goes further, sitting at the right hand of God the Father. Sitting at the right hand of God the Father. And secondly, coming again in the clouds of heaven.
Coming again, second coming.
Second coming in the clouds of heaven. The clouds here are not literal clouds, but that's the visible Shekinah glory that will be seen in heaven itself. So the clouds of heaven here, it's not of a cloudy day, but it's the Shekinah glory here. Now, come with me in Matthew verse 65. Matthew verse 65 in Matthew, page 211. Now we will see a bunch of laws broken together, okay? Just concentrate. Matthew verse 65. Then the high priest rent his garment. Circle that. Violation of law 11. Violation of law 11. I leave that with you to find that out. Those on YouTube, if you don't have your paperwork, please email Olga. You have her email already to request your paperwork. We carry on in verse 65. He has spoken blasphemy. Circle blasphemy. Notice who is making the charge. It's Caiaphas that charged him responsible of blasphemy. Violation of law 12. Because the high priest cannot violate the charge. Read your paper. Yeah.
Shows his prejudice.
That's it. The high priest can only investigate charges. He cannot condemn. Okay? Because of blasphemy, violation of law 13. He never mentioned the tetragrammaton right there. Law 12, and because of blasphemy, it's law 13.
12 and 13.
Yeah, 12 and 13. That's why I said lots of laws will be broken successively right here. Verse 25, what further need have we of witnesses? Violation of law 14. Yeah. Why do we need any more witnesses? 66. What do you think?
More witnesses, it's a law, what?
Law 14.
Okay.
What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think? They answered and said, he is worthy of death. Circle worthy of death. Violation of law 15. Circle worthy of death. Violation of law 15. Now, blasphemy is a capital offense. Violation of law 16. Is a capital offense for the Jews. For the Jews.
Number 16.
Violation of law 16.
I don't understand how blasphemy and capital offense is.
If you blaspheme, you need to be stoned to death, according to the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay? That's according to the Jews, but they are not allowed now to put anyone to death anyway.
Oh,
This is something that we will see later.
okay.
Okay? All right. Matthew verse 66. What do you think? And he said he is worthy of death. It's a quick decision. Violation of law 17. Violation of law 17. Mark 64. The word that I want is and they all, A-L-L, and they all in the middle of the verse condemn him to be worthy of death. Violation of law 18. It's a unanimous decision. They cannot be all for his death. It shows the plot.
Number 8.
That's it. Verse 66 of Matthew, again, is worthy of death. It's the same day. Law 19. Violation of law 19. It's the same day. They should wait to get more witnesses. Do you remember this? Marilyn, okay for your note making? I'm going a bit too fast, maybe? Okay. Matthew verses 67 and 68. Put your finger, it's going to go better. Then did they spit on his face and buffet him, and some smote him with the palms of their hands, saying, prophesy unto us, you Messiah. Who is he that struck you? Circle, struck you. Right there, in the two verses that I read, you have the violation of law 20, 21, and 22. So all the 22 laws have been broken.
Where is number 19?
Number 19 was given in Matthew 66, worthy of death the same day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 20, 21, and 22 are violated at the same time. Now let me finish the session with the second mistreatment of Jesus, of Yeshua on the same night. I'm going to ask you to circle a few things. Come with me in Matthew verse 68. Circle at the very, very bottom. Struck you. Go to Mark, blows of their hands, and reviling him. There is three things involved in mistreatment right now here. Number one, he was hit with the fist. Number 2, he was slapped with the palm of the hand. You know all these terminology.
On the face,
Yes.
yes?
And number 3, can you get that one? They spat on his face. They spat on his face. All of these things have to be punished with fines. I'm giving you the fines of these things, of each of number 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, if you hit me with a fist, you need to pay a fine of 4 denarii. Do you know how to write denarii?
For which one? For the first one?
Yeah. 4 denarii. And 1 denarii is 1 day wage. So basically, if you hit my face with the fist, you need to give me 4 days wage. What you make a day, multiply by 4. Number 2, to be slapped with the palm of the hand is a greater insult. You need to pay 200 denarii fine. It's a greater insult for the Jews. It's 200 days worth your wage. And number 3 is the most repugnant of all. It's more than a salary wage. It's 400 denarii that you need to pay. It's more than 1 year's salary. And obviously, no one was fined here. And that's why I said 2 weeks ago on those on YouTube also, never say again in your vocab, it's not fair. Because the only person that was really not treated fairly is your Messiah. They paid none of it and so on. Beloved, we are doing good for the sake of those who are watching us online. So I would like to stop right there because I don't want to take the denial of people, of Peter. Those in class, look. The denial of Peter, he will deny the Lord 3 times, and it's delicious. Not that it's a good act, but it's good to look at all these things in details. And I don't want to get into that because it's too long. So we'll save that for last week. Now, my intent for these classes, because you guys in class and you guys on YouTube also, we are just finishing it, and I don't want to go in September with it. So what I'm planning to do is to take it one chunk at a time. Division 9 is not that long. Division 10 is even shorter. Can't remember the amount of disc, but at this time it's not relevant. So I'm not counting May. I'm not counting long weekends anyway. On Wednesday night, they don't affect us. So we carry on. We carry on for the month of April, we carry on for the month of May, and if we need to get into June to finalize it properly, nothing will be rushed. The study was too precious. And then we'll produce the certificate for everybody present and absent also for the sake of the situation, and we carry on. So I think 1 hour of watching for you is quite enough in front of a computer. It's not the comfort of a class, and it's not the atmosphere of a class. So this is my intent. So for finishing your life of the Messiah from Jewish perspective, we don't pause for the summertime. We keep going with the flow until we graduate and we finalize the whole thing. And I sure hope to see you in class for the graduation and so on. Thank you for your patience. Thank you also for your support, which is very important at this point. Needless to say, you know those who are doing their parts for these things, and those also who can walk the extra mile. So thank you in advance for all these things, beloved. We would like to be able to carry on, to be able to serve you. Our doors are open. Tomorrow night we have the Thursday night, the DIBC, the church meeting. We carry on with the Universal Church. Come. There is a respect of the distance in the chapel since we're low in number and so on. But we carry on with the spiritual food and so on. I want to thank you in advance. Thank you for those present in the class. God bless you. We bid you shalom. Fred, would you mind a short prayer, brother?
again for the ability to meet here, Father. We thank you for Jesus. We thank you for your grace, Father. We thank you that you loved us enough to send Jesus, Father, down here to die for our sins, to take on the sins that belong to us, Father. Father, we know that that was the only way that we can be with you, Father, and we're so grateful and so thankful for that you love us. Father, as we go our own ways, we pray that you be with us, you guide us, you keep us safe, and help us to always be mindful of Jesus and what he would do in all situations in this world, Father. And we just thank you now in his name. Amen.
Amen. God bless you. You drive safe. Thank you for coming. See you next week.